We got some breaking news, champs. We have a double header, and we have two legends making the ring return announcement. And both of them made the announcement on the same day. And to tell you the truth, I do not know who is the bigger star and more of a legend. Because we are talking about none other than Iron Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao. And it doesn't get any greater than them. I am a big fan of both legends. And these are the topics that we are going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. Okay champs, let's get started. Let's begin with Manny Pacquiao, and no disrespect to Mike Tyson. I truly did not know who should I talk about first, Manny Pacquiao or Mike Tyson. So I did what Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence did. I flipped a coin, and it landed for Manny Pacquiao to be talked about first. So we all seen clips of Manny Pacquiao and Conor Ben having a face-off. And they both stated that the fight is going to be taking place in Saudi Arabia. They did not announce the date, but they said they were finalizing the fight this week. We all know Manny Pacquiao is a very special fighter, but he has been inactive and he actually lost his last fight against Ugas. And Ugas was actually a late replacement for Errol Spence. I believe Errol Spence had to pull out the fight because he was suffering from a detached retina. So Manny Pacquiao was training for Errol Spence and not Ugas. But that's why I believe Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao. And I believe Ugas actually stopped Manny Pacquiao and made Manny Pacquiao actually eat from a straw. But Manny Pacquiao was still a little bit old. But if he would have trained for Ugas, I think the fight would have been different. But time is not on Pacquiao's side, now he is older. And as we all know, Father Time is undefeated. And the only time that Father Time went to a draw was against Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins was beating up all the young champions at a very old age. And Hopkins actually made the young champions look like they were the old ones. But I actually believe Manny Pacquiao is that special. But I do believe the inactivity and ring rust, he will lose to Conor Ben. And I also believe if Conor Ben kept taking his special eggs, he probably would have stopped Pacquiao. But now that he stopped taking his special eggs, I believe the fight will go decision. But I believe Manny Pacquiao in his prime beats the living-ish out of Conor Ben, even with the eggs. Manny Pacquiao has given us some of the best fights I have ever seen. I believe Manny Pacquiao will do great in any era of boxing. This guy is the definition of a throwback fighter. Fighting against Eric Morales 3 times, and the first fight was a classic. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez 4 times, and all 4 of those fights were big. All these undefeated fighters should not be scared of losing. They should take a page out of Manny Pacquiao. You do not have to be undefeated to end your career as a legend. All you have to do is take boxing serious, perform well, and give us the fights we want. You will never lose any fans that way. But you just can't suck and lose every single fight in a bad way. Because if you're winning and beating up a lot of nobodies, and when you step up your competition and you get embarrassed or you lose badly, every single time you step up your competition, that's when we know you're not as good. But I do understand when the best fight the best at their best, someone has to lose. Just look at Manny Pacquiao. He wants to keep on competing. And he is not fighting no Rudy Poo. He is going against a young, dangerous lion. He could have fought somebody like Avanesian. But he chose Conor Ben. Maybe because Conor Ben stopped taking those special eggs. I still want to know where you bought those eggs from, Conor Ben. I want to buy some. But that's neither here or there. Let's talk about the next fight. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And this fight is already signed, sealed, and delivered. And is going to be taking place on July 20 in Texas. And this fight will not be on pay-per-view. It's going to be on Netflix. but it's going to be in the Cowboy Stadium, which holds 80,000 seats. And both fighters even talked about the purse. They both did not specify how much they were getting paid, but it was going to be in the single-digit millions. So that could mean anywhere from $1 to $9 million, which I truly doubt they were only going to get $1 million each, because Mike Tyson is as big as they get, and Jake Paul is really famous. But since there is no pay-per-view, it makes sense that they're going to be in the single digits for the millions. And Jake Paul already started promoting the fight. Have you guys seen the video promo for the fight? Jake Paul gets a face tattoo exactly like Mike Tyson and starts acting exactly like Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson said, "I want to eat his children," curses that white boy. He even made a skit of Jake Paul tearing off Mike Tyson's ear. You guys should watch it. It's pretty entertaining and funny. But Jake Paul stated that the reason he wanted to fight Mike Tyson is because when he barely met Mike Tyson confused him. He thought Jake Paul was Logan Paul. He said, "How could he think that? We look nothing alike." And ever since that day, I always wanted to knock out Mike Tyson. But he says, "Nah, I'm just kidding. That was part of the skit." But we have not seen Mike Tyson fight since he last fought Roy Jones Jr. I believe Mike Tyson was like 52 or 53 at that time, and he did look old. He was a shell of himself. But Mike Tyson is a really special, great fighter. But he went in there with Roy Jones Jr., another special, great fighter. And both of these fighters in their prime were both some of my favorite fighters of all time. And I believe Roy Jones Jr. was like 50 or 51 years old. So it was two great special fighters fighting each other around the same age. But as we all know, Mike Tyson had always campaigned at heavyweight. And I believe Roy Jones Jr. started at middleweight and was mostly really a light heavyweight. And I believe he only went up to heavyweight one time to fight Ruiz. So Roy Jones Jr. was a very small heavyweight. But so was Mike Tyson. He was only 5'11". And Roy Jones Jr. is also 5'11". So nobody really felt bad for either one because they were around the same age. And both in their prime were equally as talented as each other, but not in the same skills. They both had their strengths and weaknesses, just like every fighter. But now I believe Mike Tyson is 57 years old and Jake Paul is 27 years old. That is a 30-year age gap, and that is very big. Pause. But I also believe there's a huge experience gap and the level they face of competition gap. It's not like Mike Tyson is going to fight a 27-year-old Roy Jones Jr. A young Roy Jones will destroy a 57-year-old Mike Tyson. So I am expecting a lesser Mike Tyson than the version that fought Roy Jones a few years ago. But I do believe that he hits just as hard because punching power is the last thing that leaves you. And if you see Mike Tyson train, he still looks good. He is still fast and he still trains like he's young. Not exactly as fast as he was young, but still, that's terrifying for anybody to face. I am sure Mike Tyson could still knock out anybody on the streets. But Mike Tyson stated that he started Jake Paul's career when he fought Roy Jones Jr. on his undercard. So he started Jake Paul's career, but he is now trying to finish it. But Jake Paul has youth on his side and he is getting always better and better. And who do you guys think will win, Conor Ben or Manny Pacquiao? And who do you think will win from Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? And who has a better chance of beating the younger opponent, Manny Pacquiao or Mike Tyson? I believe Mike Tyson has a better chance of beating Jake Paul than Manny Pacquiao has a better chance at beating Conor Ben. Comment below on what you guys think and I'll write to everyone back. If you guys like the show, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world! I shook up the world!